It is period we sit and say on true and clarity. Each now and later a few various things encounter, and abruptly you see a design. And I don't wish the blog post to go through as artificial naive. I've coded policy for length quite to aware how political community will try to form and sculpt true to top fit their need, to enable them to weaponize the facts how will offer them big benefit. And I aware how political community loving clarity while it top suits them. But in the history 2 weeks, a link has been cross. Let me begin in thing outwardly insignificant. I was auditory to the CEO and Theresa May at their news story meeting in the Chequers kindergarten while Donald Trump card, speaking on Brexit, abruptly done the declaration how he had forecasted the outcome while he was at his game of golf year in Turnberry for the discovery of his beautiful game of golf year the day up the EU plebiscite in June 2016. I sat up in a tremor. I had been down there in him on how travel. Now I can see as a bit of narrative it plent superior to complaint to include been the seer who saw which was upcoming. I can as well see how while thou re 72-year-old you might misremember dates and times. Who doesn't do how sometimes? Though perhaps not on thing as basic as how. In any case behind to my chirp proverb the CEO was virtually wrong. Direct behind shooting Stephanie Grisham, who is the at first Dame's CEO of communication, but more than importantly at the period was Donald Trump card's clickman for the travel to Turnberry. So we manufactured the chirp of the CEO on the 24th proverb fair arriving in Scotland. And of her proverb how she had fair arriving in Scotland. Who else found the flying manifest itself, proving how the Trump card individual jet had arriving on the 24th. I completely accept a tempest in a teacup. The is not the kind of item on that planet world hinges. But I fight to understand Steph's motives. Why did she go wading in to protect arrest? And why while the testimony was stipulated how she was wrong did she not fair say equitable quite, my error. Psychological has a quite nice speech for the gaslighting. The is the Wikipedia determination of it. Gaslighting is a shape of mental manipulate how seeks to sow oil seed of question in a aim person or in members of a aim team, manufacturing them issue their own RAM, perceptual, and common sense. With insistent negation, wrong direction, conflict and lie, it attempts to destabilize the sacrifice and delegitimize the sacrifice's faith. Of Chequers we now go to Helsinki, an else emergency news story meeting the period in Vladimir Putin. The entire item was lightly surrealistic, done more than so by the guy meeting following to me creature yanked out by the open secret facility following it became precise to them he was planner several type of outcry for the news story meeting. For the year of the Q&A, Jeff Bricklayer of Reuters was named to ask a issue. He requested to aware if Putin had requested Donald Trump card to win the 2016 president poll and had aimed any of his officials to assist him do how? Vladimir Putin didn't fluctuate. Affirmative, I did. Since he talked on earning the US-Russia relation behind to regular. I'm really worried how Russia will be fight really difficult to include an effect on the forthcoming poll. Relying on the reality how no CEO has been stricter on Russia rather than me, they will be enterprising really difficult for the Democrats. They certainly don't wish Trump card. So I called behind to which Putin had told in Helsinki a 1 week over. But there's wherever it gets excellent dark. I'll link to how exchanging among Mr. Bricklayer and the Ruski lead has been lowered of the formal White's building decryption. In the formal recording it doesn't already exist. Now for else accidental occasion that happened day yesterday. The White's building has told how it will no much longer ensure data on while the CEO holds conversations in overseas leaders, as it has ever made so far. The accounts of the chats may include been painkiller and short, but they were a helpful instrument to hold path of overseas politics priorities. And it was ever helpful to comparison and difference which, tell, the Kremlin would include to say on the talk compared to the White's building. Now we will no much longer be capable to do how. And so to the definitive item. Donald Trump card was talk at a gathering in Kansas town. And he came out in a unforgettable sentence how voiced as although it had been raised direct of George Orwell's Bleak Roman, 1984. He told, fair recall, which you are vision and which you are read is not which's event. Or it is. Down there is fair a coordinated, and occasionally it would appear, systemic force to do you believe differently. Overlook option facts. The is overwrite story.